Hi there, this is Michael Nitu, and today we're going to be talking about drawing a reflection for a simple box object. Right, so basically we're going to have this little box over here, and we're going to construct a reflection on this shiny, dark surface, right? First things first, why do you need to draw reflections? Well, basically, if we have a look here, you can see that reflections are a standard graphical let's say need for all your work, because basically you need to get any bit of graphic detail just thrown in there to make sure your work has as much impact as possible, and reflection has a big part to play in this. So if you can see here, there's a reflection of a water pond, right? A water mirror, sorry. And you can have something like this glossy wood surface here, which looks really good, considering it has like a reflection on the glossy wood. And then you've got a little cast shadow here, right, which makes it look even better. Other than that, you can even suggest reflections like the ones here. And this is a this is a beginner drawing, because you can tell from the line drawing that the ellipses are all faulty. But needless to say, the reflection works very well to give this drawing an extra depth, an extra level of detail, let's say. Right, moving on. So basically we got our simple box, right? This is a two-point perspective. If you want to learn what a two-point perspective is, if you already don't know that, you can have a look at the free PDF, right, on our site, freehandarchitecture.com, and you've got the little opt-in with your name and email, and then you could download the report on perspective. So this is a two-point perspective of a simple box. It's got a light side, right, and a shadow side. Again, keep in mind the light side is a lot larger than the shadowed side, just for, you know, time management purposes, because you don't want to be hatching this large area, you want to hatch a smaller area. Then you've got the object shadow and the cast shadow. Right. Well, let's break this down step by step. Here you've got the little perspective. Basically, how the reflection works is you copy each height. So obviously, if you've got a box, a simple box, you've got 4 vertical elements. Here, 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 and here. We just draw vertical lines starting from these elements, right? Obviously, you don't need to do the back corner one because you don't see it. It doesn't reflect. Reflection works only as you know, as a matter of reflecting the faces that you see of your box, right? So basically, this face here, the lit one, and the shadowed one over here. As a note, keep in mind a cast shadow of your reflection looks really good. We'll jump to that later. Right. So going back to the line drawing. You can have basically the vertical lines, right? Copy the length of each of these verticals and double them, right? So basically this length here is equal to the one here. This one here is equal to the one here, and this one here is equal to the one here. And keep in mind one very important element: reflections are always more faded than normal objects, just to be sure you don't create an optical illusion of having a double object, right? This is true actually when you start hatching as well, because basically the gray over here reflects, well, in this case, because we're dealing with a dark probably a dark plastic, right, on which our little box sits on. The white bit here is going to be actually a dark gray, and the grey over here is going to be a darker grey. But looking back, usually reflected objects are lighter than the original objects. You can see it here, and with the added bonus of this cast shadow, you get a really nice effect. Right, you can see the reflection is slightly less detailed even than the original object, just to have a visual hierarchy going. Right, this trick, you can tell by now, it has a lot of different, details and stuff. Yeah, really detailed, and you know, a lot of tricks you could apply to it. But for now, let's just go back to the little boxy. Right, so you've got the box. You've drawn the first reflections. Boom. Object shadow, cast shadow, and again we're talking about the reflection of the shadowed face being slightly lighter. Right, the other face is just the same because it's lit. Right, now we need to draw this surface, this dark surface. So basically how it works, you're going to use mixed hatching to get this clear outline of the reflection. Reflection, you know, a proper reflection works only if you do a very clear outline of it. If you can tell by this, 1 second, the reflection over here, it doesn't even have enough detailing, but you can still understand it's a reflection just because of the outline being very clear. Alright, let's go back. So, we've got our reflections, we've got a very clear outline, starting to do some hatching here to fill in the empty space. Again, because we're dealing with a dark plastic, we've got slightly darker reflection than the original image. Right, and then, after a lot of hatching and a lot of gradients, you can say that you've got the reflection done. Thing is, you can have a very clear reflection like this. This could have worked as it is, you know, but we opted for having a proper dark background. This could have worked with a bit of you know, detailing over here and a bit of detailing on each side here. This would have been enough, right? But we wanted to have a not so glossy reflection. So basically the gradient, yeah, tips over the edge of our faces, right? Here and here. But you can see the side faces being very sharp, right, and clear and contrasting, and that still works very well. And as a bonus, you could actually suggest the horizontal surface by having another gradient on top of your reflection, because basically you've got a gradient going from here to here that just shows spatial depth, but you can also have a gradient just covering a bit over it, right? Actually getting darker near the object. This just implies an horizontal surface. And obviously you've got a background that's just simple and yeah, just takes a bit of time to do. And here's an example of one of my students that just got just saw this tutorial online, but unfortunately he didn't have proper knowledge of perspective, so that's why you don't have a constructed volume here. And obviously you could tell that he's a beginner. I think he's a he, not a she. You can tell that he's got yeah, quite a bit of accents going, right? Gradients that really have a short transition from light to dark. That's an accent. But unfortunately, you know, his cast shadow over here isn't as dark as it should be. This edge over here isn't as clear as it should be, and this just affects the quality of the overall drawing. Right, this is the introduction to reflection, doing the reflection of a simple box object. I look forward to seeing you soon, and take care and draw nicely.